You have a lot of questions about video creation, and you will be shocked by how many of you are having the same questions about gear, settings, workflow, and more. I also have a ton of questions. I will answer important questions that a few of you added to my community post about this Q&A, and the answers will help all creators. Let's see how many of these answers will help elevate your videos. Are you using a teleprompter for every video? This is a question from Jakub111. I hope I will pronounce your names right. Yes, but I have been using a teleprompter for the last 2 years. And I use it because I want to be as short, direct, concise, and precise when I explain something to you. I made hundreds of videos speaking freely, and I can do it. The first videos on this channel were made 100% by speaking freely in front of the camera, but I have the tendency to talk more than is necessary. The prompter helps me deliver precise information in fewer words. These days the attention span is so short, and if we talk too much, we can lose the audience. So this is why I use it. Don't use it because you can't speak freely. Practice speaking freely in front of the camera as much as you can. Maybe don't post the videos, but practice them to become better and better. When you shoot, use the prompter to be more articulate, but practice speaking freely because this will help you with the writing too. What's the most challenging part of your creation process? A question from Fleece TV. The most challenging part, the thumbnails. Sometimes I can spend maybe 1 day or more just thinking about it. You can make a great video and totally destroy it because you have a bad thumbnail. And I always ask these questions about my thumbnails. Is it catching the attention fast enough? Is it clear enough? Is it in the right direction for the viewer? I have a lot of offers from specialized people to create the thumbnails for me, but I want to do it myself because I want to practice. I don't want my thumbnails to be made by someone else, so I struggle, practice, and learn with every video. But for me, this is the most challenging part. How do you write your scripts? Is AI helping? Thank you, Andy, for the question. I have a dedicated video showing you the process of writing my scripts. I will add the link in the description. I'm also preparing a huge material about this aspect, and I hope that in the first part of the next year it will be released. I use zero AI for my scripts because I want to be as authentic as possible. The AI will make the text perfectly correct, and I don't speak like that. I want to share my real experience with you, and if the AI adds a phrase or corrects it, I will sound so bad and unnatural. Plus, this is what I like, to share what's deeply buried in my mind with you, not just to create a cold tutorial. You can find a huge number of mistakes in my videos and speaking, and I like that because this is me. If we meet tomorrow on the street, I will talk the same with you. The main focus in writing my scripts is to remember all the time that the entire video is for you. Every proposition is for you, to help you. You are the main character in my videos. This is the main focus for me when I write. What difference would you make in terms of audio gear for talking head videos versus Zoom coaching calls? Many people on your channel do both. Should we ideally use the same gear for both of these situations? Can the same software and input gear setup be used? Thank you, Minusi. This question will help many creators. Long story short, yes, I use the same setup for both. The difference is that on a video call, it's hard to process the audio as you do when editing a recorded video. But on video calls, nobody expects to hear you with compression and EQ and all those effects. I like to use the same setup, the 8875R and the Scarlett Solo 4th generation. These days I'm testing a new audio interface because sometimes I need two preamps to connect two microphones at the same time for tests. The Scarlett Solo has one preamp, and for one microphone I consider it the best combo with the 8875R. And when I need two microphones I use the new SSL2 Mark II, but there is no difference in audio quality when you use the 8875R compared to the Scarlett Solo, but you can connect two microphones. On a video call, I will simply use it the same way I use it to record my videos, just adjust the gain according to the video call service. And I always ask the caller if they can hear me well or if I need to crank up the gain more or reduce it. That's all. You can process the audio in video calls with some devices like the Rodecaster Duo, which is a great device, but you need to know how to do it and have enough space for it on the desk to keep it all the time. But 99% of the time I don't find processing necessary for a simple video call. If the microphone is good and the audio interface has a clean preamp, that's enough. Can you start making videos on Viltrox lenses as they are more affordable than Sigma or Sony? It's a man Vangela. I don't usually create videos on a specific gear just because it's cheaper. I try to find affordable gear, but I want to keep not just the quality of the image and audio at a high level, I also check the build quality. I don't have those lenses and I don't know how great the quality is in the long term. Also, I know that the 15mm is 1.7 not 1.4 as the Sigma, and people are going crazy with the blur behind in small spaces. 1.7 is still great, but not 1.4. I never meet a creator who shoots talking head videos and needs a wide lens and is not happy with the Sigma 16mm f1.4, and mine has been used in harsh conditions for years and it works like brand new. If I have the opportunity to test those lenses, I will do it. Do you set the color temp settings on the camera a bit lower than your light? I just noticed it in one of your B-rolls. Good news 777. No, that was on a B-roll because maybe I had shown you something and I forgot it like that. I don't go crazy with this aspect. Color temperature is not as exact as you think. Look, I have my lights at 5600 Kelvin, but I bounce them on the wall in front of me. This warm wood will change the temperature anyway, and I don't know the exact value, but I don't care that much. If there is a small difference, I will adjust it during editing. 99% of the time I keep the lights at 5600 Kelvin, the camera also at 5600 Kelvin, and I adjust things when editing. But if the camera is at 4800 Kelvin, I really don't care because I will correct it in post. If the difference is not big enough to be forced to adjust that much to destroy the quality, I don't go crazy with it. I just try to keep it close to the temperature of the light. What makes you consistent on YouTube? Anwar Hossein editing you. When I share my experience with you and I see creators solving problems or getting inspired by my work, it's incredible. It's an unmatched feeling. Yes, I also like when I earn money and see appreciation, but when I see creators succeeding and I helped, maybe just a little, but I helped, it's incredible. Then I know I need to create more and more. What's the best light color combination that works for talking head videos? Key light, fill light, and backlight. S code X, there is no such a thing. It's about your brand and preferences. Most of the time, it's great to use primary colors or complementary colors, but that's not a must. You can use teal and orange, or red and blue, or purple with green, but the most important thing is to match your style, brand, and preferences. It would be great if you did a video on proper green screen setup in a small space. Han family. I don't have such a video because I don't like green screen in small spaces. I did it in the past on other channels, but it's a pain. The trick on green screen is to have the light as soft as possible on the green screen and not have reflections of the green screen. In a small space, you will have the green screen close to you, and the green screen will be reflected on your ears, skin, and hair. This is why it looks bad. To look good, you need to have a big distance between you and the green screen. In a small space, it's impossible, and I prefer to shoot on a boring white wall and use two RGB lights rather than a green screen. It will make the process muddy and the result mediocre. How long does it take to make a video from start to finish? To my films, between 13 and 15 to 20 hours. I shared with you a detailed timeline for how long it takes to shoot, plan, and edit in one of my newsletters. If you are not subscribed, you can subscribe on gabrielvip.com and will also have access to the old ones. I will not add the link because it destroys my reach all the time. Go manually to the website and you can subscribe there. Most of the time, it takes no more than 13 hours, but I split everything over 3 days. The first day, I plan and write the script. The second day, I shoot the A-roll. I speak in front of the camera and cut the A-roll having the full speech. And on day 3, I shoot the B-roll, edit everything, color grade, process the audio, and create the thumbnail. Of course, it also depends on the complexity of the video, but the average is 13 hours. Which editing software do you use, and do you also mentor on how to grow a channel? iPathway. I use DaVinci Resolve to edit all my videos and record and process the audio. I rarely use Adobe Audition for audio, but that's just for fun. 99% of the time, everything is created in DaVinci Resolve. At this moment, I don't work one-on-one, but maybe next year I will find a formula to create some paid groups to work on transforming talking head videos. I will think about it. Niraj Kamat, you have 4 questions. I will answer 2 here and 2 in the comment section of the post. Is there a way to get the iPhone camera to attach easily to the Elgato prompter? I end up using 2 tripods, making it uncomfortable. I have something perfect for you. I have a dedicated video where I show you how to attach the phone to the Elgato prompter the right way. I will add the link in the description. I can't seem to understand the lighting, where to position it. My room is small, but I want depth. I got one of your recommended lights with one softbox and a selfie camera ring light. If you have a small space, you will not get depth by upgrading the lights. You can make it look like there is a little bit of depth by placing the lights to make the background darker, but if you want depth, you need more space between you and the background. If you don't have it and want the background blur, you need a fast lens like the Sigma 16mm f1.4. Only by upgrading the lights and using the kit lens, it will not increase the depth. That effect is created by having a bigger distance between you and the background or using a fast lens. And of course, if you are interested in my setup and all the equipment I use to shoot my videos, I will add affiliate links in the description. If you click on my links, you're not going to pay anything extra, but I will earn a small commission, and this will help me keep sponsors away from this channel and create more valuable content for you. Thank you. Refocus on the internal game, motion graphics, creativity, ideation, and editing in software. Robbie, a lot of questions. Refocus on the internal game. As I told you earlier, everyone has something that drives them. For me, seeing your feedback all the time is the best way to remember and refocus on the internal purpose all the time. Find a way to see results in what you want the most. And for motion graphics and editing software, I have videos on how I do my animations and tricks on how I edit. I will add the links in the description. And for ideation, I use three sources to get the best idea all the time. You, from comments, analyzing what problems I had when I was at the beginning, and research for search volume using Google Trends. Why don't you have millions of subscribers? I don't know. Conspiracy Club UK. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. The video creation niche is pretty big, but the talking head video creation sub niche is smaller. So I am extremely happy with you, my community here. Thank you. Gabriel, love your videos. However, I have an unusual question. I'm building my setup and figured that my IKEA Marcus chair has a huge backrest part up to my head. So my question is, what chair are you using? Jakub Malina, I have it from a local brand. The name is Ergo Human V1, but this also has a big headrest. I took the screwdriver and disassembled it. The things you really don't like about Elgato Prompter, even with the new software version, and how you resolve those issues, if at all. Slumbering History channel, I would like to be able to change the color of a specific part of the text. Also, when I copy and paste the script where there's a space between lines, it will create a new chapter. I don't like that, so I delete all the empty lines before pasting the text to the Elgato software. Other than this, I don't have any problem with it. Where to interview the person? How do I choose a location for the interview? I don't do client work anymore, but when I did, I always chose the location with the client because it's a matter of branding and the field of expertise. If you interview a furniture factory owner, it will be the best to shoot in the workshop to create the vibe of a furniture factory. If you interview a financial expert, maybe you choose a corporate office with a nice view from a higher floor. It's all about the branding and what the client wants. The sync mode on the Elgato Prompter sucks, no? Simon Breath, it's usable. I use it from time to time. After a few minutes it stays a little behind and you can readjust it easily. It also depends on your English level and pronunciation. It's not perfect, but I find it usable most of the time. If you want a dedicated video about how to read better in front of a teleprompter, I will add the link in the description. If shooting on location, what lapel mic setup do you use? Bonafide 54. When I did client work, I always used professional radio frequency lapel mics. I like this Sony system, no interferences, and you can connect it to the hot shoe and avoid the 3.5mm jack and the internal preamp of the camera, which is bad. I prefer radio frequency systems, not 2.5 GHz. I need to know how I can record sound directly to the camera using XLR microphone to ZV-10 via Scarlett. I don't like syncing sound in editing. It's Tech with Marvin. I don't have a good way to do that. Maybe with some quirky adapters, but I don't recommend it. If you want great audio, avoid at all costs the preamp of the camera. Listen, 99% of creators are scared of syncing audio because they heard another YouTuber saying that is hard. If you care about audio quality, record it separately. It's easy. Press record on the camera, press record on your software for the audio. When you finish, insert the video on the timeline, select them both, right click, select auto align clips, select waveform, and that's it. Is that easy, but the audio quality will be at another level. In the same area, can you show how you'd set up an XLR mic with Stream Deck Plus to record directly into a ZV-10 but still be able to have voice scrolling on an Elgato Prompter? I don't have the Stream Deck Plus, but it's the same thing. Record the audio separately. It will work to record it and also pick the microphone for the Elgato Prompter. Don't ruin your audio for 1 minute of additional work in syncing the audio. It is a pity to lose audio quality. Could you do some recommended settings for Premiere's built-in audio tools even through using Rode wireless mics? I'm never 100% happy with my audio. Stelly Tale of Painters, I don't use Premiere Pro. Sorry, I have a tutorial on how I process my audio in DaVinci Resolve using a few plugins. The plugins are the same if you buy them on DaVinci and Premiere Pro, but I don't use Premiere Pro. Can you create a studio with a super budget setup, especially lighting with a super budget lighting setup? As Codec X, I have the cheapest lighting setup I consider worth investing in. I use Godox ES45s. I would not go cheaper than this because I consider it a waste of money. If you invest in the cheapest plastic bad lights, you will waste your money because in 1 month you will want to upgrade. This is my theory in cheap equipment. I did that and wasted my money, and I don't want you to do the same. If you can't afford quality equipment, shoot with your phone, use natural light, it's totally free, and invest in time, step by step, but buy something that you can use for years and don't waste your money. This is the best honest advice I can give you when it comes to super budget setups. Don't waste your money on cheap equipment just because it's cheap. Learn how to use what you have, save and buy something worth your money. You seldom never mention GPU power and RAM SSD requirements. I checked your max specs: M2 Pro with 19 GPU, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB SSD. Is this the configuration you would generally recommend? See, it's hard to mention specific requirements because it depends on your footage. If your camera uses H.265 codec, for example, you need more power. If your camera uses H.264, you need less computing power. For talking head videos and normal simple editing, in my opinion, on Mac, everything that's M1, M2, M3, M4 on Pro models will work fine with at least 16 gigs of RAM. I also have an M4 MacBook Air with 16 gigs of RAM and I can edit flawlessly on it. I don't use it for that, but I tested it and it works. On Windows, it's more complicated, but an NVIDIA graphic card and 32 gigs of RAM should do the job. It's hard to pinpoint the exact specification because it depends on how advanced your editing is. Have you had a dip in views recently? I've had a significant dip. Sleeveless MTG? No. On the contrary, it's constantly growing, but I upload every week and try to help talking head creators on every upload. A lot of questions on the basics of talking head video creation, and I'm happy to see them and respond, but I can give you much more. If you want more, you need to learn how to properly position your lights and how to set them correctly, how to set the background, and many more tips. And for this, I will give you a dedicated video where you can find everything you need for a great start in building your shooting space. Watch this video and transform your creation into something awesome.